There are tons of great articles out there about building a resume. The problem is many of us don't heed the advice because, let's admit it, building a resume is just not that fun. If you are having a hard time coming in first place for the job that you want, it could be related to the resume. Even if you've gone through the entire interview process, I have seen hiring managers go back and make the final decision based off what? The resume. Here are 5 simple tips that can help you land your next role. Tip number 1, build the resume realizing that it is a living document. Unless you plan on having one job your entire life, you will need to change and edit your resume on a regular basis throughout your career. Further, do yourself a favor and build it in a format that you don't need a PhD in Word to edit it. You don't need columns, objects, and all that other stuff. You don't need fancy graphics or a picture of yourself. When it comes to formatting, less is more. Tip number 2, consider ditching the executive summary or the objective. Here's a stat that might surprise you. Very few people read it. Perhaps the only reason I would leave it in there is if you truly think that you have something compelling to share that you can't add anywhere else in your resume. Tip number 3, build out the sections of your resume in order of importance. Your name is the most important thing because, well, people need to know who you are. Outside of that, do not order your resume simply based on what other people do. For example, if you have more than 1 year of experience, your degree should be after your working experience because the skills that you've gained from working will trump the degree. Next, build out the information within each section based on relevance of job, complexities, and the environmental exposure, such as high growth or organizational changes. The reason for this is that resume readers don't read your resume in full. They are naturally drawn to the start of the sections and not much more. So design your resume to be skimmed, not read. Tip number 4, your bullets should be explanatory and not simply stating a skill. Anyone can say on a resume, I've processed accounts payable or I've posted a journal entry, but that does little to tell the employer that you know how to do them or what your role is within these functions. Which brings me to tip number 5, use data. When possible, use dollar amounts and numbers to explain the process and how your input impacted the organization. This may include cost cutting, client development, process, or cycle time. Be sure to include a few details to tease the reader so that they want to learn more. We hope these tips have provided you value. And if you have any specific questions about a resume or thoughts about something I said, comment below or simply reach out to us. Also, make sure you check out our LinkedIn page, Talent Source 360. See you next time.